letting me know everything was okay. It was calming me down, and it was allowing me to, I felt like, essentially bring my spirit back to my body. Um, the blue spirit, it was always very cool and very just very calm. It was very calm. The purple spirit was very radical and very energetic. It was just moving everywhere.
So I'm going to do my little intro and then you can tell your story.
Okay.
Okay. So hi Soul Family and welcome to my channel. I'm your host Haji and this is Amazing NDE Stories. Our guest today is Trey. Trey,
Peace, peace.
welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And Trey goes by Chief as well, so I think that's cool. I'll be calling him Chief from this point forward. And he had a very interesting NDE, but also somewhat of a traumatic NDE. So we're going to kind of go into this smoothly and, at his own pace. And he's here to share and to help. And that is the intent here. So, Trey, please tell us about your experience.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, thank you for having me. Yeah, so actually my experience, to be straightforward, I was shot. Um, since I was a child, I've always been kind of tapped in. I've always had a hints of spirit. Spirit was always been with me. I grew up in a church house, and my mom, she always, uh, helped me or pushed me to resonate with spirit when I was doing anything in life, when I was doing anything, any of my dealings or anything. But saying that to say, actually around November of 2016, um, I was shot in my back and grazed on my neck. Um, and essentially, I flatlined on my hospital bed or operation table, wherever I was at the time. And I had a crazy, divine experience with spirit, and I'm here to share it. And like I said, I was shot in my back. I was potentially being robbed uh, by some people that I was staying near at the time. I was going through a divorce, and I was staying with a friend of mine, and he stayed in a pretty rough area. And when it came to me, I was pretty active and proactive in my endeavors, what I was doing before I was going through my divorce or anything, things of that nature, to the point where people could tell that I was a pretty busy person and could tell I had some stuff going on for myself. So they set out plans to uh, do some harm to me. So the night that I was shot, um, man, I'm sorry, it gets.
No, 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 no. Take your time, and then I'll edit things out because I'm letting people know like this is real. This is real, real. And was I I like to keep things jovial and happy because I know that that's the highest vibration. But this life and where we're at, not there. Like it's much lower. So I just want you to know that anything that you're telling me now, pull yourself out of it. That's not you. That's not your story. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
mean, we're gonna really, really get into it, but just really to start to disconnect, like that is just the story, and even go so far as there's people who have these experiences who see and they say, and not to say that it's the truth, that we pick these hard, tough lessons. Like some of them we literally pick because we know that it's gonna push us in a direction to help and heal. And you're definitely a healer. I can see that from a million miles away. You are going. If you're not now, you will be a healer. Okay, so the people who are shamans, they are the ones that go through the toughest, craziest stuff. And this is your story. This is one of those tough things that you made it through. You're here. You're amazing. You're okay. You know. So don't let those energies, like we're getting through it, because it's people who are going to hear your story and know, oh my God, I went through that same thing, but they didn't make it out. Like they're still stuck in it. Help them get out. As you get out, help them get out. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I was staying with a friend, and he stayed in a pretty rough area, and I was going through a divorce at the time, and I was a real busy person. I was a music artist, and I like to hustle a lot and keep some stuff going, keep, you know, my network kind of going. And people could kind of tell that I was pretty busy and that I had some stuff going on with myself. And I was just in an environment I shouldn't have been in, in totality. Um, so I was home one day. I was working and I came home one day, and it was a it was a person who had approached me as I was walking through the parking lot going into the house, and they started questioning me, asking me certain questions, and they was confusing. You know, I was like, I don't know where, I'm not understand where you're going, you know. And then I noticed this person was he was trying to basically decoy him robbing me, and I told him, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go to my car over here. You know, meet me at my car. Let's talk to my car. So I went to my car to, you know, find something, but I was going to try to defend myself, and you know, I didn't make it in time. I got in my seat. You know, I couldn't even. I was trying to make sure I could even wrap all this around my head. You know, while I was going through all this stuff because it was moving so fast, and I like, am I really having to protect myself right now? I'm really having to protect myself right now. Okay, let's make it happen. Anyway, I wasn't moving fast enough, so he approached me, and you know, I told you know I told him, you know, it's, you know, it's not gonna happen. And he was like, no, something's gonna happen if, you know, no, man, it's no, it's not gonna happen. Something can happen, you know. And all I remember is I was turned like this, and he was at my door, the driver door. And as I turned, well, I didn't turn, actually. I didn't turn. I grabbed him, and the gun went off, hit my neck, and I hopped out of the car. Luckily, no other bullets um, were shot at, you know, during this time. But I grabbed him, and and I don't know, spirit just came over me, and I pushed him to the back of the car and pushed him on the ground. I turned around and I started running towards the door of the house where I was standing. He shot me in my back, and for a moment I thought to play possum, like, you know, let's let's sit here and maybe, you know, he'll run off, you know, let's sit here and you know, play dead or something. And then, you know, as quick as I made that move to, you know, defend myself in the car, as quick as I thought, no, get back up, get in the house, run, you know, don't wait, you know. And I got in the house, and it was a lot of people in the house. Actually, it was actually like a weekend, so it was like a lot of people at this person's house that I was staying at. He always kept a lot of people in company around, and I mean, it was a lot of people, and they could hear the gunshot from the parking lot. The gunshot, and the window was right here, and the gunshot was right outside the window, basically. So everyone could hear the gunshot. And I just, you know, I remember running in, locking the door behind me, and I ran to the bathroom to check myself out. I knew I was shot in my back, but I was kind of more concerned with my neck because I was wondering if I was going to bleed out from my neck. But I checked my neck, and I felt two places where it felt like it felt like somebody had scratched me, and it was burning. And I was like, you know, this is, you know, something's going on with my neck. And my partner who I was staying with, like, I asked him, hey man, is something going on with my neck? You know, what's going on with my neck? He said, nothing wrong with your neck. You know, everything is good, man. You good, you good. But I was like, you know, I'm for sure I'm shot in my back. So I end up sitting down, and and for a while I felt that essence that I'm about to speak about. I felt the essence that I'm gonna speak more about. And I sat down, and I pretty much you could say I fell asleep, but I kind of passed out. I was bleeding out in this chair, and it was like the entire room was watching me go through this. So it was just like, it was like humiliating. It was embarrassing. It was shaming. You know, I went through a lot of the worst things you could go through, you know, here on earth, I guess you could say. That was kind of like being stoned, or being like somehow sometimes how they used to do and castrate people and things of that nature. It felt like I was being publicly shamed, and people were I was a person around there that people always saw happy, always have things having in my way, just pretty decent person, pretty happy go lucky person. And to see me in this position for other people who may have truly admired me for just being a happy person, I'm pretty sure they could feel what I was going through. Um, it was agony. It was agony. It was hard to really um, be in that moment and survive alone through the embarrassment and the shame. But I had to start breathing. I've been working on my breathing and meditation up until this point. You know, a whole lot. A whole lot. I have been working on my breathing and things of the nature. I've been meditating so much that it had become part of me. So at that time, doing breath work and breathing properly, so to speak, I was able to do that long enough to survive. I passed out in the chair for a little while, and I started seeing a purple essence. It was a purple light that it was so sweet. It introduced itself to me, and it like gave me it's crazy. It's amazing. It's so amazing. Like, some of the worst things that happen to you can be some of the best things that ever happened to you. I feel bliss when I speak about this. You know, almost, if only people understood what I experienced, some people would envy and jealous the experience. I've heard other people that went through different things say they are envious of those who've crossed over because of the bliss they have experienced, and I truly understand that. But I was introduced to this beautiful spirit. It was a purple spirit, and it never really had a name. It never introduced itself with a name, and it always just spoke with this appearance and the strokes. It was just a beautiful, like, laser light with the tail, a purple laser light with the tail, and it would just draw all this abstract stuff for me to be able to understand. And it ran me down my life. Um, it knew who I was better than I knew myself. Um, it righted all my wrongs. Everything that I felt guilty or shame about, it helped me clear. I felt so healed at that point, but that was cut short. It was short lived when the ambulance came, and I was woke up, and I was like, okay, that was my first time tapping into that essence so deeply. You kind of feel that when you in a deep meditation, but this was different. This was like completely like out of body experience. So the ambulance comes, and they're like, hey, walk over to the stretcher, and let's get you in the ambulance. As stiff as I was, I don't know how I managed to even get to the stretcher with the ambulance, because I mean I was sitting there for what seems like 10 minutes, bleeding 10 minutes. A lot of people don't survive that time frame, and I happen to still make it. And I got to the stretcher, which I felt I should have had some help. I didn't have much help. I guess they wanted me to. Again, I felt like I was being stoned and being ridiculed. So I felt like I was fighting for my life, and I felt like, everybody that was involved or that was able to visualize this or see this experience was a piece of myself that I was detaching from, a part of me that, a part of me that I was always afraid to expose and show, a part of me that I never want anybody to see me down, or never want anybody to see me on my, have a bad day. When in reality for me, everything that was going on was bad. But I want to take a step back and speak on the power of manifestation. Um, Essentially, I feel like I had manifested this situation because I was going through a divorce, and that was months. That was a few months process. Um, in between time, I had a girlfriend that I was dating, and me and her, we ended up dating for much longer from the date that I was shot, but we were breaking up at the time, and I was really letting love get the best of me at the time, and I was learning detaching. I was learning detachment as a spirit, and power of manifestation. I manifested myself in a bad situation because I told myself that I didn't want to live anymore. I told myself because that love didn't work out, and I was putting so much on me, and I just gave up for a few moments, which was like really a whole day. I gave up. I gave up for maybe a whole day or two, and during that time of me manifesting, being a powerful master manifester, realizing this after all this, um, I manifested becoming a victim of a situation so deadly, and yeah, I just want people to know that, you know, we are very powerful people. We manifest, with our tongue, with what we say, with what we write down, with especially with our actions and our thoughts and our emotions. That's what triggers um, us to even be able to acquire, our desires and our manifestations, with, like the law of attraction. But yeah, so I want people to know that, you know, essentially I learned that I manifested that event, and that I had to put myself into a new space in my heart and mind, and know that uh, I essentially was the powerful being who who basically triggered that event to happen. But as we as I got into the ambulance, they started questioning me, asking me what happened to me, who shot me, and you know what was going on. And I told them, I didn't know, because I didn't know who shot me. I didn't know who had shot me, and I didn't know, you know I didn't know what was going on. And they didn't really believe me. They kind of questioned me, like, maybe like they were the police, and were trying to find a criminal. But I didn't have any information for them. But as I started to slip out of consciousness and go into the other realm, I started to be able to hear people in a different way. I started to feel like I was hearing them think, which I knew I was, but at some other points, I knew it was them talking, but it became a blur after so long. It became a blur. But then as I tell the story, I get to that point. They were questioning me, and they were telling me, hey, you need to tell us what's going on. Maybe this could help you. This could help you. If you tell us what's going on, maybe we can help you, But if you don't tell us what's going on, you know, we might not be able to help you out, essentially, like, you know, they started hooking me up, and they started putting me on machines and things of that nature. I told them I didn't know what was going on. So I didn't know if they were going to, allow me just to kind of slip away, or if they were going to actually try to do procedures to allow me to live. Because in the area that I was in, it was a lot of thugs, and a lot of people played like they, didn't know what was going on. And, in those kind of areas, people lie, and people, go against the police a lot of times. And when it comes to like street life, but they took me as a person like that was doing the same thing. So they didn't trust my word right off the top. But as we started to head towards the hospital, um, I noticed I started to slip away. I started feeling like I was having conversations with them, but I knew that I was out of it, because at some point I was able to see myself. I was able to just look down on everything, and at some point it was about two times that I noticed that I was having this experience. It was on the way to the hospital, when I realized that I was having an out of body experience. And it was another time when I was in the operating room, or in my hospital bed, where I realized that I was having that experience again. But while headed to the hospital, I was able to see, and I was able to practically hear everything like it was a movie script. It was like they were saying, like, you know, they wasn't sure if they was going to help me survive. They wasn't sure if they was going to allow me to, you know, make it, because of the situation of where I come from and things of that nature. You know, they just wasn't sure if it was going to be worth, you know, reviving me. We ended up getting to the hospital, and I was able to see outside of see outside of the ambulance and see myself getting pushed in. And at the same time, I was hearing my family. I could hear them from all the way outside as I was getting pushed in. I could hear people's conversations. I could hear people's conversations, and you know, it was scaring me at the time, being pushed in, because I felt like I was dead. I didn't know. I thought I was gone at this time. I thought I was dead, and I was just a spirit. Because as much as I meditated at this time, I knew when I knew I was having an out of body experience. I'm like, hold on, this is happening. Okay, I remember. At the same time, I had this purple spirit continually writing this story out for me, writing me, telling me what's going on, reminding me what's going on. Like, hey, no, I'm your spirit guide. I don't want you to not know what's going on. This experience is profound, and you need to know what's going on. And all throughout this whole time, you know, it's just like a whisper in my ear. I can hear the staff, you know, speaking amongst each other about my situation. Them thinking I wasn't gonna make it. I shot in my back. I bled out for so long, but they had put me in an operation room, and I woke up once in that room. I woke up, and they were just like, dang, you know, how did he wake up through the anesthesia? How did he wake up? This is powerful. He's powerful. He's very energetic. He has a lot of energy. I don't think this one, I'm glad we waited, because I think this one can make it, you know. But that's when things started to turn around and things started being more positive, because before it was like I was in a horrible dream. It was like a horrible dream, but I felt protected with that purple spirit. Along with the purple spirit, at times I would see this blue spirit, and it would just come in and out and do the same little drawing essence. And they would cross, and it would feel so good. It would feel so amazing, and it would feel like I had a chance, I guess, and it would feel like more clarity and more clairvoyance, and just more spiritual natures that I could resonate with. Um, as I woke up in the operation room, I could hear them saying that, you know, hey, you know, we don't know. Well, excuse me, they were saying we think he's going to make it. You know, you know, it's practically a miracle, because he's wounded pretty bad. You know, he's wounded pretty bad, and you know, I just remember being in like it's almost like a tunnel, and life would move fast at times, and then life would move slow, and I just could see like a movie of all these different events, and like what would seem like daydreams, what would seem like my thoughts and feelings and emotions, what would feel like you know, just like a spirit movie, almost kind of like when Star Wars credits come and it's like it's coming towards you. That's kind of how everything was too. So it was strange. It was really strange. But during that time, that purple spirit was always speaking to me in its own language. It was telling me everything. It was letting me know everything was okay. It was calming me down, and it was allowing me to, I felt like, essentially bring my spirit back to my body. Um, the blue spirit, it was always very cool and very just very calm. It was very calm. The purple spirit was very radical and very energetic. It was just moving everywhere. But that blue spirit, it's kind of like that behind your head, actually. I don't know if you can see it for yourself, but behind your head, it was actually extremely identical to that. But that blue spirit would just come across, and it would just, and just kind of, it was kind of like confirming the purple spirit just doing all the radicals. but it was amazing. And it almost felt like a DNA of a ladder DNA. I mean, a DNA ladder, you know, it was kind of like remind you of that a little bit. And it just was amazing. And I told you a story about it, you know, me feeling like I manifested all this behind that, you know, that situation of, you know, me dating her. Um, I ended up finally waking up out of my slumber once everybody came in to visit me, and she being one of the last people to visit me, she came over and touched me, and I came up out of a slumber, and it felt like a long time, which I think it might have been it was some hours for sure. It was some hours for sure, and I ended up finally waking up, and um, all of my family was around me. And I really panicked. I woke up and I panicked, and I started to throw up. up I started to throw up through all the pipes and things that was in my throat, and they were just like, it's a miracle. They started grabbing all the pipes out my throat, and mouth. And, you know, I popped up, and as much strength as I didn't have because I had a long scar down my gut. I sat up, and they was like, "No, sit back, sit back." Like I just had so much strength and so much energy. It was crazy. It was a miracle. It's truly a miracle. And you know, through that 3D process, just through that 3D process, there's so much spiritual knowledge and spiritual sense and all of that. It was so much that I learned, so much that I saw, and so much that I brought back with me. I brought back so much knowledge and so much resonation with just this with energy and spirit alone, and resonating with others, you know, on a level of oneness. You know,
Mm.
I can be, you know, we all can be very separate, you know, but you know, when you breathe and you just, you know, collect yourself, you realize that we all are connected. We're all one. I just want everybody to know, you know, you're gonna go through hard stuff. Sometimes we go through hard things, but sometimes those are the most beautiful moments that you can go through to find yourself and who you truly are, and to really know God and your spirit, and to you know, really know spirit, and you know what your purpose is for life. Some of those traumatic moments, you know, if you perceive them the right way, if you see them the right way, you'll see and have an understanding and know that these are some of the best experiences that you could have, because they build you, they grow you, and you know, ultimately, it teaches you life. It teaches you life, and for most of us, it teaches us love. It teaches us the essence of love, because we become grateful, and we become you know, we become true lovers of life, and true lovers of spirit, and true lovers of individuals who recognize love, and you know, just that beautiful essence of spirit and life. Yeah, it's amazing though. That's mainly my NDE in a nutshell.
That is just, that's, I mean, do you have any idea how blessed you are? Like, it's off the charts, off the charts. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure you understand that before the end of this, off the charts. Because there are, you know, and I have so many questions. I'm gonna have to figure out how to streamline this. And again, if I ask any questions that you feel uncomfortable with, say pass. No problem. We move forward. But I've had traumatic experiences, some that had, you know, spiritual, clearly I was protected, but then you have some that like I probably signed up for and they just really were just that traumatic situation. There was no
Yeah,
purple or blue light. So in just the fact that you had that connection, because you could have had, just imagine that whole situation without the spiritual insight, protection, guidance, visuals, it would be a billion times more traumatic, you know? So like
yeah,
you were blessed. You were blessed. They saw what was happening. They were like, not no, not my baby.
right, right, yeah,
They were like,
practically,
not today.
practically.
The whole universe stopped and celestials came down and were like, that's why the one in purple is totally, I feel like I might be connected to the one in purple because that would have been me too, just flying around like, nope, nope,
Right, right. It
back
was,
off.
yeah, it was just like that. That's funny that you said, but it was just like that. It was just so protective and defensive and like in control, but yeah, panicking. But not, I wouldn't say panicking, but frenzy.
Mm.
Yeah, in a frenzy. Yeah.
And like, well, maybe that means like frenzied, but like if you're protecting somebody you love who's not who's weak, you're gonna be all over the place, all over
Right,
it. Like,
right.
nope, nope, nope.
Hurry up, go get the water. Go get the yeah, right.
So you got friends in high places, you know?
Yeah.